Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got some fantastic custom commanders for you from the amazing folks over at Custom Dragon Highlander. A massive thank you to all their amazing designers, those that participated in the contest, those that voted in the contest, and Alano who put the contest together and sent these cards over. Yeah, we've got some fantastic Halloween-themed cards for, well, it's Halloween time. So it's a great time to talk about these amazing commanders. And yeah, to see these awesome designs. So with all that said, let's jump into it. So let's start things off at number 10 from DrPeace with The Uninvited, a 3/3 legendary avatar that costs 1 black and a red. It can't block and can't be blocked, and on top of that, whenever it deals combination to a player, each player discards a card and puts a -1/-1 counter on each creature they control. And here's what DrPeace had to say about the design. In Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of Red Death, a nobleman hosts a party to keep away from the plague that's been ravaging the countryside until a mysterious stranger crashes the party dressed as a victim of the plague. When it goes through the rooms, it's found that no one can stop the guest, and it's revealed to be the plague itself, and all the partygoers suffer a grisly end. The card emulates that experience with a creature that can't be stopped, rolling through enemies' defenses easily. Well, DrPeace, yeah, I absolutely love the flavor, and that art is gruesomely cool. And yes, yeah, not being able to be stopped can get through on your opponents quite easily. You can definitely take advantage of that combo damage trigger, maybe with double strike as well. Take advantage of maybe proliferating effects too. Take advantage of ways to, well, I mean, punish your opponents even further with discard effects, or punish them on the discard with like a Megrum. A really cool design. I absolutely love this one. So yeah, DrPeace, congratulations on your 10th place finish. Now let's move on to number 9 from Spris with the Man in the Floor, a 2/4 legendary creature nightmare 4/4 in a black. Morph, sacrifice a non-token creature. Whenever the Man in the Floor is turned face up, each opponent discards X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. At the beginning of your end step, you turn the Man in the Floor face down. And here's what Spris had to say about the design. For the Man in the Floor, based on the Telltale Heart, I really want to encapsulate the fact that he is just a normal guy that drives people to insanity. Play him as an inconspicuous 2/2, then kill your creatures and reveal his true form to have your opponent babbling nonsense and confessing their greatest sins. Well, yes, this is a crazy cool design and a brutal one at that. Yeah, sacrifice your own creature, but it's going to be well worth it to flip this up, because when you do, all the creatures that died this turn will be punishing your opponents with their deaths and forcing them to discard their cards. They're going to have absolutely no hands and absolutely no time, and the nightmare just keeps living on, because again, at the beginning of your end step, this goes back down. So yeah, I love this brutal design. You can do some really cool things with it, and yeah, there's absolutely going to be opponents babbling nonsense and just absolutely praying that they hit something off the top of their library to end the game. Absolutely love the designs. Barency, congratulations on your 9th place finish. But now let's move on to number 8 from Ivan Von Kick with Klee and Death Wailer, a 4/4 Spirit God with Flying Menace that costs 1 in Esper colors. Death's Herald, non-spirit creatures have vanishing. This creature enters the battlefield 4 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, move a time counter from when the last is removed, you sacrifice it. And on top of that, whenever the last time counter is removed from a creature, you draw a card and gain 1 life. And here's what Ivan had to say about the design. The inspiration for my card was taken from the real-life Celtic goddess, Cleanda, Queen of the Banshees. I wanted a way to showcase the terrifying omen abilities of Banshees and create a sense of impending doom for opponents that play against her. I think the best way to build a deck around this is obviously a Spirit Tribal, but the flexibility of having 3 powerful triggers in card draw, life gain, and forced sacrifice allow her to be played in a bunch of fun ways. Well, Ivan, I definitely agree with that. A very cool design. Bringing Vanishing back, I love it, and turning it as a weapon against your opponents. What's not to love about that? Yeah, definitely Spirit Tribal. Of course, you can utilize Changelings if you want. And yeah, maybe some other ways to play with counters too. Playing with, ways to gain some more life, draw some more cards, do all the exciting things. A fantastic design. I think Esper's fantastic for this commander. Congratulations on your 8th place finish for this great design, Ivan. But now let's move on to number 7 from Spaceman. We've got the Spirit of Hunger, and my goodness, is that some metal art. A 6/4 demon spirit for 2 in Jund colors with Haunt, so when it dies, you exile hunting target creature. The Spirit of Hunger and the creature it haunts are goated. When it or the creature it haunts attacks, each player sacrifices a permanent, and when the creature the Spirit of Hunger haunts dies, return the Spirit of Hunger to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So, Spaceman had this to say about the design. I base this creature on the Wendigo, a mythological man-eating creature from Native American folklore. The idea of this commander is to stuff your deck full of cards that either put multiple permanents into play, cards that care about stuff being sacrificed, or cards that want to be sacrificed. If your opponents slay the beast, they may find themselves cursed by the Wendigo. Oh my goodness. This makes Haunt everything I always wanted it to be, and then some. This is just an unstoppable force. This is a creature that says, hey, when I'm attacking, or the creature I'm haunting is attacking, well, we are going to make sure that every single player is going to be sacrificing a permanent, and we care about that sacrifice. We want that sacrifice. Our opponents don't want it. And then when you do deal with it, sure, now this new creature is going to be doing the exact same thing. And when you deal with that creature, this comes back. You cannot deal with the Spirit of Hunger, and I absolutely love this design. Congratulations, Spaceman, on your 7th place finish. Next up, those move on to number 6 from Alno with the Conqueror Worm, a 2/2 legendary creature worm for black. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, add black. If this is the 3rd time this ability is resolved this turn, draw a card. And this is what Alno had to say about the design. The Conqueror Worm is a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, with the poem itself being a story about how death comes for us all. In this poem, death is portrayed by the Conqueror Worm. This is personally my favorite poem, as well as my favorite song from an artist who did a cover of it. So I decided to make the Conqueror Worm in reference to the poem being about the inevitability of death. And my goodness, again, some insane art, absolutely crazy, and a crazy cool design for this low to the ground commander that might not seem like much, but my goodness, can this just churn and burn? I mean, not literally, it's not a red deck, but you can just destroy your opponents by forcing them to sacrifice creatures in a lot of different ways. When you do, you get a ton of value from that, not just mana, but also eventually card draw as well. So yeah, a lot of cool things can be done with this commander. Again, a brutally cool design. And again, congratulations, Alno, on your 6th place finish. Next up, though, let's move on to number 5 from Dire Moon with Bloody Mary Mirror Haunt, a 2/3 Spirit Noble for Grixis colors. When it enters the battlefield, you get a chant counter, then Surveil 2. When Bloody Mary dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature and loses 3 life. Then you may move 3 chant counters from yourself. If you do, for each creature you sacrifice this way, create a token that's a copy of it. And it's got an evoke cost of 1 in Grixis colors. And here is what was said about Bloody Mary from Dire Moon. Bloody Mary is such an iconic pulp culture and folklore tale that I had to make a card of it. The evoke mechanics and chant counters meaning to be representative of the folktale legends around her, while the edict effect and making a token that's a copy are my own personal twist to the tale. I see the deck as a Grixis Reanimator Blink control with a bit of proliferating, using blue blink and cheat death effects alongside red clones to fuel efficiency. Well, yeah, I think you said it perfectly, Dire Moon. This is a crazy cool design, and I love how it takes that folklore tale to essentially be, you know what? Hey, once that 3rd time happens, you better look out because some crazy things are going to occur, and your opponents are going to be in big trouble. Sacrificing creatures, losing life, and you getting those creatures back. I absolutely love it, and this commander absolutely encapsulates what Grixis wants to do, and Grixis cards work insanely well with it. Well done on the design, and again, Dire Moon, congratulations on your 5th place finish. But now let's move on to number 4 from Daedalus with Victor Frankenstein Madman, a 1/2 human artificer in Golgari colors, but we actually have other colors as well here in a little bit. When it enters the battlefield, create the monster a legendary artifact token with menace, and treat this artifact as though we're a creature while casting or resolving mutated spells. Each creature card in your graveyard has mutate. The mutate cost is equal to its mana cost plus sacrifice a creature. You may cast spells this way from your graveyard, and by paying XX blue and a red, tap target non-creature artifact you control becomes a creature power toughness XX. And this is what Daedalus had to say about the design. With Victor Frankenstein, I wanted to capture the feeling of stitching together a lot of corpses into your very own monster, then bringing it to life with a dramatic pull of the lever. And of course, there's added flavor as the rest of the table seeks to destroy your abomination before it can be bring ruin upon them all. If I were to build for this maximum flavor, I might try and bend out into human tribal mutate, given that, well, until the monster is animated, it will remain a valid target for mutate spells no matter how many corpses you stitch together. My goodness, this is flavorful. I absolutely love the concept of creating something that can be mutated onto that Frankenstein monster type card and saying, you know what, I'm going to build this up. If you don't deal with it, I am going to make it live and then take you all out with it. So again, Daedalus, an incredible design. I absolutely love it. And congratulations on your 4th place finish. But now let's move on to number 3 from Jess with Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen, a 1/6 human shaman with Death Touch for 2 red, white, and a black. Put a pin in it. If a source would deal damage to you or a creature you control, you may pay Rakdos colors and choose a creature control. If you do, that damage is dealt to the chosen creature instead. And then when she'll put a spell on you, pay 3 red, white, and a black, tap, search your library, enter a graveyard for a curse card, and you may cast up paying its mana cost. If you search your library this way, shuffle. And this is what Jess had to say about the design. The streets of New Orleans are a sight to see, but for the watchful eye, these signs are all there. The practice of voodoo is still alive in those storied streets. As a commander, Marie Laveau is here to bring on the curses and poke needles into dolls. Have fun playing Curse of Fool's Wisdom on the blue player directly from your library, and then casting Star of Extinction only to apply directly to someone else's face with a stuffy doll. And yeah, Jess, stuffy doll is exactly what I thought of when I thought of this commander. An amazing design. I absolutely love the flavor of it. I love put a pin in it. I would just absolutely love to activate that ability again and again and again with, yes, Stuffy Doll, Brash Taunter, and others. And then, of course, utilizing those curses in fantastic fashion. Overall, Jess, an incredible design. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish. But now it's time for us to move on to number 2 from Parzival. We've got the Headless Rider, a 6/6 Ledger Creature Scarecrow Soldier for, oh, here we go. 2 or a white, 2 or a blue, 2 or a black, 2 or a red, 2 or a green. So basically, Wooburg or 10 mana or somewhere in between. This has Fear and Haste. Other horses and scarecrows have Fear and get ++1. And then also, whenever it attacks, put a head counter on target creature. Whenever a creature with a head counter on it dies, you may exile it. If you do, create tokens copy of it, except it's a 0/1 scarecrow to other types. And here is what Parzival had to say about the design. When I designed the Headless Rider, I wanted to evoke the tale of the Headless Horseman, taking other people's heads to try and find a replacement for his own. And what better way to do that by putting head counters on the creatures he hunts? I also wanted to pay homage to the original Scarecrow Commander with the Wooburg hybrid mana and a fun tribal effect. The result was this card. Well, yes, this definitely evokes Scarecrow King vibes. And I love those head counters. I love being like, hey, you know what? Okay, yeah, I'll just put a little head counter on you. Yeah, you're gonna be next. Take out that creature, and all of a sudden, it is your own. Except, well, it's headless. It's a scarecrow. It's a one toughness scarecrow. A really cool effect, and yeah, you can do some really cool things with it. Again, Parzival, I love this design. Congratulations on your 2nd place finish. But now in 1st place, let's talk about the design from Boros with Nevermore, Memory Devourer, a 1/4 bird demon with flying menace that costs 2 blue and a black. Whenever a chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, each opponent mills cards equal to the number of lore counters on that saga. If at least one historic card is milled this way, draw a card and discard a card. When Nevermore attacks, exile a historic card from target opponent's graveyard. They lose life equal to its mana value. And here's what Boris had to say about the design. When I thought of quintessential classic horror, Poe is what immediately came to mind. I've always loved Poe's tales and poems, so I had to try and capture his immortal raven in a card. Nevermore wants you to tell these stories of your sagas, mill your opponents, eat away their memories, drain their life until there's nothing but a hollow husk of what they once were. Happy feasting. Well, Boros, my goodness, I love the flavor of how you captured this commander, this iconic Raven, Nevermore, but with sagas, with telling tales, and that is so cool. And also, well, punishing your opponents with it. I love milling them. I love the historic aspect of this and saying, oh, you maybe have a legendary tribal deck? Oh, cool. Well, let me just show you the error of your ways or your artifact deck. I love this. It's a really cool card. A ton of flavor, just dripping with flavor. Boros, congratulations again on your first place finish. But now this episode is coming to a close. Again, a massive thank you to Alno for putting this contest on, and a massive thank you to the amazing folks over at Custom Dragon Highlander for designing and participating in this amazing contest. And yeah, if you are interested in joining that fantastic community, make sure you check out that Discord invite link in the description below. Comment below with your thoughts on these amazing cards. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.